LG 45GX95AB. This monitor is so massive and curvy, it could double as a windshield for your gaming spaceship. Plus, the 5000 by 2160 resolution lets you see every glorious pixel of your rage-induced respawn. Switch between 5000 resolution at 165 Hz or 2000 at a bonkers 330 Hz. Cinematic adventure and sweaty multiplayer both bow before your curve. It is undeniably immersive with deep OLED blacks, but you will need a big desk and, at this price, maybe a therapist for your wallet. 8 out of 10. KTC G27P6S. This monitor wants to be your all-you-can-game buffet with a buttery 240Hz OLED, absolutely no ghosting, and a KVM switch that juggles your devices like a caffeinated circus-clown. The built-in speakers are a bit meh, but the four-side bezel-less design and bright, fast screen work overtime to keep you locked in, unless you are a creative pro who cares about perfect color accuracy, in which case, keep walking. Stiff competition means alternatives might tempt you, but with a good price and burn-in protection, this little panel punches above its weight for console action. 8 out of 10. LG 27GX790AB. This one slaps down a wild 480 Hz refresh rate and a response time so fast you might win before your opponent even loads the lobby. With OLED visuals that make deep blacks look bottomless, it is prime for competitive gaming and console heroes, supporting every variable refresh rate format, though it introduces some VRR flicker and is not the brightest star in a sunlit room. If you are obsessed with motion clarity and speed, this is your grind set, but keep an eye out for brightness and OLED burn-in as usual. Still, it is elite for consoles. 9 out of 10. LG 27GP95D. This monitor feels like a high-end spa for your eyeballs, flaunting dazzling 4000 by 2160 pixel resolution, buttery-smooth 1 millisecond response time, and a refresh rate that can outpace your caffeine buzz. Plug in your console and watch colors pop so hard you'll think your controllers are jealous. But keep in mind its local dimming is a bit indecisive, and the stand stubbornly refuses to rotate like a dance partner with 2 left feet. Still, for pure gaming bliss, this is one monitor I would want to keep indefinitely if it didn't want to go back to LG's lab. 8 out of 10. Innokin 32Q1U OLED. This monitor steps onto the scene with true 10-bit color and OLED contrast so deep you'll lose socks in it. Plus, it's big enough to double as a vanity mirror for your character selection screen. It has the kind of sharpness and calibration that lets you spot enemy pixels before they even spawn, but the refresh rate is about as rapid as a snail parade. And those missing regular HDMI ports mean your console setup might feel like playing Tetris in real life. A jaw-dropping value if you're all about spectacular visuals, but not if you crave twitchy, high-speed action. 6 out of 10. LG 34GS95KB. This ultra-wide OLED monster bends reality with a curve so wild your games will look like a sci-fi roller coaster, and its 240 Hz refresh rate plus instant response make it the Usain Bolt of monitors. Everything is crisp, black levels go deeper than your backlog of unfinished games, and HDMI 2.1 keeps PlayStations and Xboxes running like cheetahs, though some text can look a bit funny thanks to quirky subpixels. You'll want to marry this screen for gaming, but maybe not for reading the fine print. Still, it's a knockout for consoles. 9 out of 10. Dell Alienware AW3423DW. This monitor is sharper than your wit at a roast, with crisp 4K resolution and colors that pop harder than corn in a microwave at 240 Hz. The stand is so low profile, it's practically a ninja. Plus, cable management will make your desk look cleaner than your browser history. For console gamers, it churns out spectacular motion clarity and HDR that leaves other screens wishing for a glow-up, but you still pay a high price and those ports could use an upgrade. 8 out of 10. Asus ROG Swift ULED PGT7U CDM. This is the monitor equivalent of a double espresso shot. Fast, vivid, and almost criminally responsive, with a picture so lifelike you might want to warn your grandma before showing her a horror game. The tripod stand looks like it's ready to beam up your controller, and Dolby Vision support for Xbox Series X means your console is living its best life. But no internal speakers and a price tag you'll need low input lag just to dodge. Still, it's a gamer's dream if you can stomach the cost. 9 out of 10. Alienware AW3423DW. Go ultrawide or go home, because this 34-inch beast pours out color richer than a billionaire at a paint mixer and boasts infinite contrast that makes shadows look like a black hole. Console play feels like drifting in a sci-fi cockpit, and G-Sync keeps motion smoother than butter melting on pancakes. Just watch out for the brightness drop on giant white backgrounds and a gamma anomaly in SDR. Plus, that price tag is not for the faint of heart. 7 out of 10. Asus ROG Strix OLED XG27 ACDNG. This little beast rockets past the competition with its 360 Hz refresh rate and color accuracy so clean, your games might look better than real life, but it is still just 27 inches, so console couch kings might feel a bit cramped. OLED brings those perfect blacks and zero lag, but beware. In bright rooms, some purplish black levels could crash your RGB rave. Exclusive features like a USB hub and HDMI 2.1 are slick, but honestly, if you need more than this for gaming, you might just need a new hobby. 8 out of 10. Corsair Xeneon Flex 45QHD 240. This is the monitor equivalent of showing up to a LAN party in a stretch limo. 45 inches wide, bendable like a yoga master, and wraps around you until your eyes forget the outside world, even if you need Hulk hands to adjust the curve. Game immersion is bonkers, colors are richer than a crypto bro, but the HDR is about as disappointing as your uncle's magic tricks, and overall pixel density is, let's say, more stretched than sharp. For console gaming, it is awesome if you have the room and money to match. Otherwise, stick with something less dramatic. 7 out of 10. Samsung Odyssey OLED G8 G85SD. The Odyssey G8 comes swaggering in with dazzling quantum dot OLED colors, 4,000 pixel lines, 240 Hz speed, and a built-in smart TV hub, so you can game, binge-watch, and ignore your responsibilities all on one screen. HDR pops like fireworks, blacks are darker than your sense of humor, and motion blur basically does not exist, but good luck finding an audio output unless your speakers levitate, and the user interface is about as friendly as a boss fight. For console gamers who want gorgeous visuals and lots of features without a small fortune in extras, this is basically the screen to beat. 9 out of 10. Philips Evnia 49M28900. This monitor is bigger than my ambitions, packing a 5140 by 1440 display that practically wraps around your desk like a gamer's force field. Colors are so punchy, blacks snap like drama at a family dinner, and it somehow makes both movies and games look epic enough to deserve popcorn. But unless you own a spare dining table and enjoy mild hand-warming sessions from the heat, you might need to reconsider your life choices before buying this beast. 8 out of 10. Philips Evnia 34M2C6500. This one's wafting pure ultrawide vibes with picture quality so sharp, you'll see every pixel of your defeat in high-speed racing games. The colors practically scream, "Pay attention to me," and ambiglow lighting means your wall joins the party. But forget about fancy ports. This monitor lives frugally with connection options, and the stand wobbles like jelly at a concert. Still, at this price, Philips is clearly in the business of making your wallet and eyeballs equally happy. 7 out of 10. Acer Predator X32X3. This Predator is here for gamers who demand everything at once. 32 inches of 4,380 by 2,160, up to 240 Hz in native resolution, or a brain-melting 480 Hz. If you fancy some full high-definition nostalgia for esports moments, image is gorgeous, lag barely exists, and connections are so generous you'll wonder what to do with them all. But the price is ruthless, and there's no sRGB mode for the color snobs among us. If you crave OLED glory and money is just another stat, this panel is the console king that might make your PlayStation jealous. 9 out of 10. AOC Agon Pro AG276QSD2. If you want buttery-smooth gameplay without selling a kidney, the Agon Pro makes your wallet happy and your reflexes even happier, thanks to its snappy OLED panel and just right 240 Hz refresh rate. The colors punch hard. The blacks are so deep you'll lose your reticle, but watch out for some frame skip weirdness in console mode and HDR that only pops when it's in the mood. It's comfy to position and affordable for the tech, but the experience is held back by a few quirks. Solid, not legendary. 7 out of 10. Samsung Odyssey OLED G6 G60SD. Samsung's Odyssey G6 is like a caffeinated unicorn, a blazing 360 Hz refresh rate and QD OLED vibes, dressed in a sleek matte finish that keeps glare down and style up. Colors are wild, blacks are deeper than a midnight snack run, and the HDR knows how to party. But forget about a USB-C hub and prepare to fiddle with settings until your thumbs ache. If you want console action with zero ghosting and top-tier pop, this is the quick-draw gunslinger of Monitor Town. But it's pricey enough that you may skip dessert for a month. 9 out of 10. Gigabyte Aorus FO32UP. Gigabyte's FO32U2P packs a 32-inch punch that'll make your gaming cave look small, loading up the feature cannon with 4K resolution, 240 Hz, and enough connection ports to launch a spaceship. The image quality is gorgeous. Colors leap off the screen, and OLED care features mean your pixels will last longer than most gym memberships, though the brightness could use another protein shake compared to some rivals. If you want a premium console-ready beast and don't mind playing on a screen that's basically a billboard, this monitor brings the goods but squeezes your wallet real tight. 8 out of 10. Gigabyte M27P6S. So here's a monitor that tries hard to impress your console with a speedy 170 Hz refresh rate, but then goes full-budget hero and forgets HDMI bandwidth, meaning PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X fans get cut off from the fancy frame party. Colors are lively with a wide gamut. Input lag is low like a sprinter at the starting block, but black levels are more gray sweatpants than cinematic deep space, and highlights in HDR might be allergic to popping. Great for the thrifty, just don't expect console greatness here. 6 out of 10. Dell Alienware AW3423DW. Welcome to the future. This massive 32-inch curved OLED turns your console games into a visual feast, with true black, so solid you might lose your socks in it, and a heavenly 240Hz refresh rate that makes motion as smooth as freshly waxed marble. Unfortunately, its brightness in a sunny room is about as confident as a vampire at a beach party, but that's OLED for you. Top-tier gaming performance, stunning color, and the sort of build quality that would survive a lightsaber duel. This is the console monitor to beat. 9 out of 10. Asus ROG Strix G27P6S. This 27-inch screen is the sensible workhorse of console gaming monitors, offering a zippy 180Hz refresh rate and variable refresh magic for tier-free play, plus those extra ROG touches like a tripod socket and a built-in phone holder for texting your squad in style. Colors are decent, the stand is flexible, and it's wallet-friendly, but blacks here party with the grays, and HDR is more meh-DR than wow-DR if you chase vibrant highlights. For value in everyday gaming, it gets the job done. Just don't expect the fireworks. 8 out of 10. LG 3093U. This 32-inch beast comes in swinging with 4,000 pixels and a 144Hz refresh rate, but the stand is so wobbly you might think it moonlights as a bobblehead. Colors are bright and games look slick with HDMI 2.1 support for your PlayStation or Xbox, though blacks get shy and turn gray if you dim the lights. No built-in speakers means you will be hunting for headphones, and while it tries hard, those missing home run features keep it from leveling up. 7 out of 10. Gigabyte FO27Q3. This 27-inch QD OLED rocket can hit 360Hz, making games feel so buttery smooth you might slip right off your chair. Deep blacks and vibrant color throw a party in your eyeballs, and every millisecond counts, especially if you dream of winning pro tournaments from your console throne. The price tag is pure gamer flex, so unless you plan to play esports from your living room, save your wallet for another day. 8 out of 10. ViewSonic XG2722K OLED. This monitor beams out 2,560 by 1,440 pixels and 240Hz of pure OLED magic, making colors pop so hard your game might just ask to be screenshot. It turns shooters into visual feasts and delivers velvety blacks and smooth motion, even if consoles struggle to fully flex its power. The price stings a bit for the pixel party, but if you want your console games lit up like a summer blockbuster, this baby is the ticket. 8 out of 10. BenQ Mobius X321UX. This monitor is so bright it could light up your game room, and maybe your ego, while serving up crisply detailed battles that pop like fireworks in July. The mini LED panel goes hard on HDR and colors, but lugging all this premium tech means local dimming quirks and no speakers. Get ready to plug in your headphones and make space on your desk for this chunky beast. If you have not tasted the forbidden OLED fruit, you might just fall for its punchy IPS charms before the price tag snaps you back to reality. 7 out of 10. Sony InZone M9 II. Sony's PS5 sidekick delivers sweet 4K HDR, buttery smooth 160Hz refresh, and vivid colors that punch above its IPS weight, looking refreshingly sharp, whether you are sniping headshots or binging Netflix. The stand is slick and the lows are deep, but power-saving mode makes it a snooze until you crank up the settings, and for the price, your cable management skills better be on point. It is not the OLED king, but as a console superstar and a PC multitasker, it will make most gamers grin, assuming your wallet survives the hit. 8 out of 10. MSI MPG 321URX. This MSI stunner is basically a show-off with its wild OLED colors, jet black contrast, and eyeball-melting 240Hz refresh, like gaming inside a sci-fi action movie where you are always the hero. You will need powerful gear to get the most juice, and fixing up the firmware is part of the deal. But once you see Destiny 2 glowing, you might never leave your desk again, except maybe to grab a USB charger. It is so good it almost feels unfair for everyone else. Future-proof your setup and join the OLED master race. 9 out of 10. Acer Nitro X275K. This monitor serves up a crisp 4,000 pixel party on a tight 27-inch dance floor, but the brightness is just decent, so don't expect to get sunburned during late-night marathons. The refresh rate is solid and response time is zippy, but those colors and contrast feel less like Hollywood blockbuster and more like budget sequel. If you want all-out console glory, you'll want better blacks and punchier colors, or just admit your living room TV is still king. 6 out of 10.